Okay, guys, let's roll. Um, this video is going to be aimed at members of Advance UK. Okay, this is for you. So please pay attention. Let me get rid of myself. Bet a lot of people wish I would. Right, what have we got in this background image? Well, up in the top left, you can see the British Resistance. This was a website I created back in 2010. It replaced another website prior to it that I'd created that was called Home of the Green Arrow. Back then I was known as the Green Arrow. And for a long time I was number one enemy to the left and the Muslims. I quite often received death threats from both parties. Anyhow, let's have a look at what I'm talking about on the website. Incidentally, at that time, the British Resistance website had a readership that was larger than some national newspapers. It was very, very popular. Now, YouTube seems to have taken over on the internet, but back in the day, websites were really popular. Anyhow, it's talking about John Mills, Patriot. He died Thursday, 6th of October 2011, 1346. If you have a look at the top of the site, you can see home, writers. I managed to recruit about half a dozen good writers. National and News would take you to links of all the BNP supporting sites around the country. And I had a roll of honour where I recorded the death of every single patriot who died whilst waiting for our country to be free. I vowed never to forget them. They're not forgotten now. I've still got that list, downloads for links and stuff like that we would download, and links to other sites, and contact us. Over on the right, you can see the kind of things that I and my writers were putting out. What will you do when the invaders march down your street? Who are the Ashkenazi Jews? Yeah, I was interested in just who they were even back then. I learned the difference between a Sephardic Jew and an Ashkenazi Jews, sometimes called the fake Jews. BNP leadership election results, we'll be coming on to that. Britain First, Old's first branch meeting in Berkshire. I played a part in getting Britain First set up with Paul Golding and Jim Dodson. Hundreds of images somewhere. Minority Patriots, BNP Brussels meeting. What country was this film taken in? Nick Griffin leadership election broadcast. 2011 is when the BNP really fell apart. It was a bad timing for British nationalism, and we'll be coming on to that also in this video. Panorama and the British National Party when they'd done a hatchet job on us. And what is interesting there, and some of you are not going to like this, I wrote about the Queen's speech. Vomit. That was the year that Queen Elizabeth had said that we've got to accept all these people from the Commonwealth. Lost a bit of respect for her then. Still better than Charlie Boy, but there you go. Nationalism and the need for a new beginning. Yeah, well, we were talking about it then. The infighting was destroying us and not helping the country. Now on to John Mills. I'll read it out for you and then I'll tell you about the man. Well, the little world of the British Resistance Pal Talk room was blown apart last night when we learnt of the death of John Mills, and who most in the room knew as Screaming Mad. Everyone had a nickname then, if you like, avatar, whatever. I was the Green Arrow, John Mills was Screaming Mad, and there were others out there like Lippy, Caution Crusader, Bertie Burt. I went to his funeral. We'll be talking about him later on as well. Well, John, he passed away in early September, and many of us had been wondering where he had gone. Well, sadly, now we know why he did not return our calls, and we're all ripped apart at losing him. John was one of the most nicest, decent, generous men I have ever had the fortune to meet in my long life. And it is true to say that without John's ever generous big heart, there would be no British resistance site, and maybe not even a British resistance. Because make no bones about it, John's donation kept this site going in the early days, and for that reason alone, we must never let his memory die. Prior to the British Resistance website, there was the home of the Green Arrow website. And prior to that, there was the Green Arrow blog. I'll tell you the story one day of why it was called, or why I called myself the Green Arrow. It could be interesting. Well, back then I was living in a remote place with no landline for internet. And so I was totally dependent on a mobile dongle. And you can imagine what the costs of that were. Then, of course, there was the cost of setting up the various websites. And I created numerous websites, maybe a dozen or more, all for on different topics. Judge Watch would record judges. What was it? The Fallen would record the names of patriots who had passed on. Liars, Crooks and Thieves was counsellors. UK Enrichment News recorded all the crimes committed by people non-Indigenous to this country. That's still out there. I'll put a link up to that. It's got a good search engine. Recorded rapes, pack attacks, that kind of stuff. So John's donations in the early days really helped. And they weren't large amounts, but they were enough to help meet the running costs at the start. Later on, donations would come in from all over the world. And that money, well, as you know, I've never been interested in money. I do what I do, not for money. And any money I raised, I would use to buy equipment for the branches, cameras. And cameras then, video recording cameras were expensive. £1,000, I'd raise £1,000. A group needed money for leaflets, the Green Arrow would fund it. Other parties, I can't say too much about them, but we helped them. And that's what we used to do. Eventually, of course, the state went and they got me taken down. They took my bank account down, but they didn't break me. Out there now, some lefty may be watching this and thinking, oh my God, they're back. I got news for you, my friend. We never went away. It was just recovering. Anyhow, so that's John Mills, Super Patriot. Still think of you, John. Angela talks about you. Mary Joy misses you. Caution misses you. We all miss you. Still love you. Anyhow, let's move on. I want to talk about Advance UK. The members of Advance UK need to build up the kind of bond that we in the British resistance had then. That bond between the people I knew then still exists today. They are still my brothers and sisters. Advance UK needs to build that. But I'm telling you straight, guys, I don't know whether I'm just too cynical now or what, but I'm not feeling it with Advance UK. I'm just not feeling it. Now, let's go here. And this will highlight what I mean. This is the YouTube channel of some guy. I linked you to him the other day and said that you should get on over and subscribe and watch his videos and help that channel grow. You can see just looking at the video that the guy is doing it really professionally. He produces it. the quality of the video he produces is much, much better than mine. He's like a gourmet chef, and I'm just like someone on the side of a road. I'll just chuck everything on the plate and hope you like it. He takes time to prepare his videos. I don't. I shoot from the hip. You can see that now. I don't have no script. I don't do no fancy editing. I just don't have time for it. Anyhow, what I'm saying is this to the Advance UK members. It's not enough to be a member of the party. If we are going to win this war, you have to be activists. You really do have to be activists and get involved. So if I put a link up, say, to some guy, yeah, then you really need, as an activist, is go there without me even telling you. You should automatically go there and think, this guy supports the party. I'm going to support him. And you subscribe to him. You subscribe to him. Even if you never go there again and watch what he puts out, and it is excellent, you subscribe to him because he's a member of Advance UK and he is your brother and he needs your support to make his channel grow, to reach the civilians. Because you're not a civilian anymore if you're a member of the Advance UK. You're an activist, or you should be a political activist. If you're not, like the guy said in that video yesterday, get out of the way. And let's watch a bit of what some guy says.
Okay, so today has been quite an interesting day in politics. Shabana Mahmood's announcement has caused a complete and total liberal meltdown. Shabana, what were you thinking? I mean, really, the brilliant idea of announcing that you're going to shake down all the asylum seekers, see what's in their pockets, put your hands in there, take out the loose change. Oh, is that a wedding ring? I'll have that. What were you thinking, Shabana? Hold still while we pull out the gold fillings. Shabana.
Okay, the guy is really good. With regards, I wouldn't bother taking jewelry and valuables of the illegal immigrants. I would just, they could donate an organ, maybe a liver or a kidney. Yeah, that might be acceptable and cover the cost of their stay before we deport them. But yeah, ask them to donate an organ or an eye, something like that. Right. So that was me talking about some guy and why you should get over there and subscribe to him. If you want people like me to keep going, you need to support us. Anyhow, so that made me mildly annoyed this morning. I didn't wake up in a good mood. Played on my mind all night. Yesterday evening, I went over here, live with Richie and Rogue. Yeah? Richard Taylor, he's calling himself Richie there. I don't like Richie. I'm going to stick with Richard. And Rogue, they're entertaining patriotic people. They've got Christian values. As you can see from the title of their channel, it's Land of Saints and Sinners. And they're always pumping out the news, yeah, patriotic news, and pointing people to Advance UK. They have some good guests on there. So when I went over there last night, I got there I was 3 minutes late. I was really, I can't tell you that, really disappointed to see how few Advance UK members were watching it. So I went over to the Welsh Advance UK group and said, get over there, get over there and watch them. But few did. Perhaps they were offline. Really disappointed. You need to be, they've got 3.6 thousand subscribers. There are almost 40,000 members of Advance UK. Every single Advance UK member with access to the internet should be subscribed to this channel. You should be subscribed to my channel. I don't care what you think of me or the style I put it over. I am a member of Advance UK and I am promoting your party, our party. You link to me. You link to some guy. If they support the party, you support them. This is the spirit that we had in the BNP until it was destroyed by traitors within, government agents. Anyhow, you need to understand something when you become a political activist. It's going to take a large chunk of your life. You either care about your country enough to do something about it, or you bury your head in your sand and they shaft you up the butt. Now, I want you to look at this. This is the mind of the left. Don't underestimate the left. Some of them are very intelligent people, and some of them are as passionate as people like myself or Fast Jet Performance. Have a look at the rules they live by here. I hope you can read it. This is the revolutionary catechism. The revolutionary is a doomed man. He has no personal interests, no business affairs, no emotions, no attachments, no property, and no name. Everything in him is only absorbed in the single thought and the single passion for revolution. Him and I suppose, are a little bit alike. The revolutionary knows that in the very depth of his being, not only in words but also in deeds, he has broken all the bonds which tie him to the social order and the civilized world with all its laws, moralities and customs, and with it all its generally accepted conventions. He is their implacable enemy, and if he continues to live with them, it is only in order to destroy them more speedily. Okay, I'm going to let you read the rest yourself. That's the type of people we're up against. To them, they have no honor. Honor is a weakness. They have no loyalty, not even to each other. Their sole goal is our destruction in order, they think, to build a better world. Yeah? Now, I want to tell you about two young men. One of them was me. The other one was and is diametrically opposed to what I believe in. We went to London at the same time in 1976, more or less within weeks of each other. I went to London solely for the purpose of joining the National Front, but I wound up in the National Party. Our party's long gone. That was a result of a split again. My friend, he was a sort of friend, he went up and he worked in a care home. And he joined ANL, the appropriately nicknamed ANL, the Anti-Nazi League. And he was really radicalized. Well, we would both occasionally return home to Wales and we would meet in the pub. And we realized if there was going to be any peace in that small village, we would have to agree to disagree, not to talk about politics, but occasionally we did. But there was always the understanding that should our paths cross at events in London, friendship was gone. We were the enemy, and if he could, he would well, you know what we would do to each other. And I would have done the same to him. My country becomes more before friends. I don't know what happened to him in the end. I haven't seen him for years. But he was as passionate about what he believed in as I am as passionate about what I feel for my country. He probably even thought he was doing the best thing for the country. Oh, one good thing, interesting thing that he did say where I managed to nail him down, was homosexuals. And I spoke to him about homosexuality and perversions and stuff like that. And then perhaps he'd had too much to drink that night. He turned around and he said, because I was concerned that the way they were always promoting deviance, and he said, oh, don't worry about that, Paul, he says, because once we get things right, he said, then we can turn our attention to them. Now you think on that, because that's what they do today with all the transsexual and the homosexual movement and Islam. They're not really friends with them or allied with them or believe them. They are just fellow travelers for now. Yeah. The revolutionary is a doomed man. I sometimes feel like that. Right. Now, that's out of the way. I've given you the message I want. We really need to be better. We must be more proactive. Yeah. Now, for the historians among you, I want to take you here. No, first let's go back here. Let's have a bit of Richie and Rogue. I like your art.
Can you? Okay, go on then.
Abigail Humphreys.
Check her
Look
out.
at this art. Abigail Humphreys of Ludlow.
Woo, great job.
She has done the most incredible artwork here, and she is sponsoring us. And I'm being sponsored with this hat by the House of Tweed.
Yeah, actually, is that hat far right though? Because when you bought it,
look, you need to see this. This is the
show the
tag.
scarf as well.
I got a scarf to go with it, right?
Put it on, it's lovely.
Can I just say one thing, right?
Yeah.
I'm really allergic to bees. And actually, because I'm allergic to bees, the closest that I can actually get is by wearing it as a scarf. So I
the pandemic, and you spoke about his vaccine passports, you were ridiculed. I remember being online, being absolutely, Piers Morgan absolutely slated us, and there was loads of us who were standing against it, and he would call us all sorts and demonize us simply for having an opinion because we believed in bodily autonomy. It's my body, it's my right. Don't tell me I have to have something to go somewhere. I have to have something to enter into.
Good stuff, eh? Let's have a bit more.
I'm going to find the piece about, I believe it's this one. I might be wrong, I might be right. No, it's not that one. Just bear with me. This one here, Rogue. That's it. Illegal immigration. Tearing us apart, says Mahmood. No shit, Sherlock. I mean, it's taken how long to work that out? I mean, look, the immigration problem, right? It becomes a big banging drum for so many.
It's like Mahmood is now trying to copy Rupert Lowe, Reform, Advance.
Mm-hmm.
They're literally trying to kind of pull in what everybody else is saying and trying to present it to us all and say, look, guys, look what we're doing.
Yeah.
But it's too little, too late.
Yeah, it is. And I think if you look at the track record of the Conservatives, when they tried the Rwanda scheme, they tried stopping the boards. Keir Starmer comes into power, talk about smashing the gangs. He comes smashing egg, let's be honest. He's a pathological liar. He can't lie down straight in bed. And I think people have lost all confidence in our politicians, haven't they? You know, and I think.
Okay. So you can see the kind of stuff they talk about. They deserve your support. I think at that time, when I checked, I think there was just maybe 6 of us watching. I was disgusted. I was furious. Furious. Sorry. If you're going to do something, do it. Do it. Or just don't bother. Don't bother. Don't waste our time. Don't waste your time. If you're going to be a member, be an activist. Otherwise, just you can do what you like. Right. This is for the historians. Here we go. There I am. This was 22nd of March 2011. The BNP is in turmoil. We're ripping ourselves to bits. I'm still going with the British resistance in the Pal Talk room. At the same time, I'd opened up a podcast on iPlayer. Costs a lot of money to get a music license, a lot of other expenses as well. But I raised the money, used a lot of my own. I was living on bread and cheese. It's just as well I'm not a fussy eater. Should have spent more time with my family. Perhaps if I'd spent more time on my business, I'd be a multi-millionaire like several of my friends are now. Perhaps I should have gone in with them instead. But no, I love my country and there's nothing you can do about it. You just have to fight. Anyhow, Paul Golding, leader of Britain First. In this video, it's a 2-hour video, we talk about the imminent collapse of the BNP, why he formed Britain First, and some of his beliefs. Paul Golding gets a very, very bad press. A very, very bad press. In this video, if you watch it, you'll hear names like, obviously, Nick Griffin, Andrew Bronze. But the way he wasn't just nationalists I interviewed back then, I interviewed people like from Lawful Rebellion. What's his name? Brian Garish. Lots of people I interviewed from all walks of life. And let's see what Paul says here.
Basically, those two were brought in basically to do the donkey work, in my opinion, while Nick Griffin concentrated on being an MEP, because he even said to me that is his job.
Okay, what we're going to do now, perhaps with shorter answers, is I'm going to ask some questions that I've come up in my box that are being fed to me, that are being typed. You and I probably haven't got time to read them. There's one here from Johnny Leach. I'm going to jump around a bit now because the questions are in no particular order, Paul. Johnny Leach is asking, and you mentioned it, whilst the chairman was in Brussels, sites like this one were attacking enemies of the British National Party, people that or we perceive to be enemies and stuff like that, and you yourself were doing a pretty damn good job of attacking those enemies. Do you regret these attacks now, Paul?
It's a difficult question. I do regret them, and I do apologise to anyone, anywhere that I launched attacks upon. We're all guilty to some degree of tearing lumps out of each other. I mean, look at nationalism when the party was relatively united, say before the European elections. During that time, there wasn't a split of factions. Everyone was united. I look back upon that era as some sort of golden age, to be honest, compared to the present time. But look at how look at what a potent force to be reckoned with the British National Party and British nationalism was when nationalists were united, and look at the terrible state of us now. I think we're all guilty to some extent of attacking one another. So yes, in the past, I have spoken recently to various people that I've torn lumps out of in the past, and vice versa. But there's seemed to be a tangible spirit amongst the party. I've spoke to, like I said, dozens, even hundreds of people around the country. Despite what's going on in nationalism at the moment, there is almost an aura of, we've all argued, we've all torn lumps out of each other, we've all got skeletons in the closet, but now is the time to bury all those differences, to bury the hatchet, to draw, literally, British nationalism needs to draw a line in the sand if we are ever going to survive as a movement. So yes, I've seen some of Johnny Leach. I've actually got a lot of respect for Johnny Leach. I've heard him speak before. He didn't live too far away from me when I lived in southeast London. I've got a lot of respect for the man. And all I can say is yes, I do regret, and I wish I could take back all of the bickering and arguing and fighting that's happened over the last couple of years. But that, it's happened now. We're in this situation. Nationalism is in danger of falling apart and disintegrating, and it's up to us to draw a line in the sand and to work towards reconciliation and unity. That's the only way we're going to survive.
Paul's not wrong there. Paul is not wrong. During that time, it was terrible. People who had been your friends became your enemies. It was like that, the American War of Northern Aggression, the Civil War. It was brother against brother. People who I'd campaigned with, protested with on the streets, were suddenly my enemies. And it got bitter, almost to the point of violence. And I tell you what, when the British turn, they can be violent, yeah? Take it from me. Anyhow, I'm pleased to say that at least I'd like to think so, that British nationalists do not really carry a grudge against fellow patriots. They make up, they shake hands, and I'm pleased now that the people that I tore bits from, and who really tore bits from me, because I was in a minority in Wales supporting Nick Griffin, they really give me a rough ride, my fellow patriots. So you can imagine what we did to our enemies. But we've made our peace. And like I said, Roger, if you want to put the band together, I'm up for it. Right. Okay. This channel here, you can see it there. Go have a look. You'll see a lot of videos where I'm interviewing different people from across the nationalist movement. It's kind of an historic kind of place. The guy who done it, Bertie Burt, he introduced me to bread making. Lippy, if you're watching, I know you miss him. He was a wonderful guy. He passed away. We went to his funeral down in some Cornwall, somewhere like that, middle of nowhere. Went to the church, said goodbye to him. No, Bertie, we don't forget. Okay, guys, that's kind of all I've got for you. Take a last look at John. That's what a patriot looks like. Ignore the little fat fellow on his left. He's not that fat anymore. Paul, you would have loved it. Okay, that's all I got. Been listening to Paul Morris, Rodka. Oh, and now I can tell you what Rodka means, can't I? John's obituary was written by the Green Arrow. Rodka means return of the Green Arrow. Yes, guys, I'm back. Come get me.